Verse 11. And if he do not these three unto her,
if he do what?
If he do not these three unto her,
right,
then shall she go out free without money.
So it's like, look, you can't take care of her. All you married her for was sex.
I'm out.
You can't take care of her. What is this?
Without money.
The players
had none anyway. So
and that's what happened. It was fun, lawful, carnal knowledge probably first.
Lust, a lot of lusting going on.
Love event. Just couldn't leave. Just kept circling the parking lot. First Samuel. We finished with that. Let's go to First Samuel.
Circling the parking lot. Camelback ride. Oh yeah, First Samuel.
First Samuel. Chapter 1. Verse 2. Let's hit that. We're going to hit a couple of these, and y'all see that where this was common practice, but there was always something behind it. Our order was Israel could do this, but they had to stay inside the 12 tribes. You got 12 tribes. If you went outside the 12 tribes, whoever that woman was would have to leave her family and their doctrine. Come on this side. She would cut all her hair off and cut her fingernails off, and that would separate her from the doctrine of her father. And now she's starting new and fresh, and she loves the God of Israel, so she's a stranger that can come into the house of Israel. Today is the other way around. Like Earl Woods married Tiger Woods' mama, but yet he's following Buddha and her father's doctrine, which he should be following the doctrine of Earl Woods' dad.
Like a knees.
Absolutely. So that's what he called himself, a bunch of different names, but that would be the order of things when you can go outside of Israel. Because Moses' first wife, Zipporah, was an Ethiopian woman. And Miriam came against her. But this woman knew all the law, statutes, and judgment because she saved Moses on the way to Pharaoh. Right. Moses didn't circumcise his firstborn son on the way to tell Pharaoh what God said. God sent an angel and said, go kill Moses. He disobedient on the way. How you going to be disobedient and then go tell somebody else to get obedient? So Zipporah circumcised that firstborn son on the way to Egypt. So we see that this was an outsider that kept the law of God. So they can come into the fold. But they have to shake what they used to be. You can't be part of that. And that's what's usually the problem with Israel now. They take on the doctrine of the foreign wives of their God. That's what Solomon did. Let's get it. No doubt.
Now this first Samuel, chapter 1, verse 1. How we look. First Samuel, chapter 1, verse 1. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim, Zophim of Mount Ephraim,
right,
and his name was Elkanah,
right,
the son of Jehoram, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu,
right,
the son of Zoph, and Ephrathite. And he had 2 wives.
What did he have?
2 wives.
Right.
The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah.
Right.
And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children.
So we got this situation always in Israel. It's going to be a problem. One can't have children. This is the reasoning. It ain't just because your ears wiggling, you walk in the club and, you get beside yourself and thinking here, I won't have one, baby. I won't have one. I won't have one. Oh, no, it ain't none of that. According to this. Yes. Whoever teaching that is teaching deception. Let's read some more. Verse 3.
And this man went up out of this city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Most High host in Shiloh.
Y'all hear that? So it's a righteous brother. So this righteousness is not the Most High ain't said nothing about. And he done that which was illegal and had 2 women. You ain't gonna see that in here. You're gonna see what causes the problem with polygamy, that everybody that's against it run to it. They run to what David did, but they skip what the Lord told David. David did something wicked. David committed adultery. And you can't have another man's wife. I don't care who she ain't married to or whatever else without nobody know. I mean, David committed adultery. Let's put it like that. That's what he did. He had all his wives and looked at somebody else and took. That polygamy didn't do that. You know what did that? David lusted. Supposed to been out in war when the time the kings go to war. When the other nation's supposed to see your king represent. David stayed back. Y'all gonna handle that lightweight work. We worked in Amalek a couple days ago. Y'all gonna handle that. No, I'm gonna stay back here and cheat. And staggered up on the roof and sipping a little wine and looked over there and saw Bathsheba purifying herself. You know, I need to know who is that? Wife is that? He didn't ask who wife, he just said who was it. He told him who wife was. That's Uriah's wife. At that point, cut off. No more thinking about this. But what did he say? No, he's like, who, that Hamite? Uriah? The Hittites? So she couldn't refuse the king. And then he tried trickery, bring him home and let him try to get with her in the same gestation type of period to where she wouldn't know. Yeah, we had to bring more reports from the future. No, it didn't happen that way. And David was grieved bitterly about that. Let's get 1 Samuel 25, about 43. Hold on, I want to get where David was. 2 Samuel? Is that 2 Samuel what? No, I want 1 Samuel 25. Because we see that Acts 13:23 said David was heartless like Christ. Right. So we know that what David was doing was righteousness, and we see everywhere David tripped because it's listed and why he's punished for what he did. Yeah, but you see, I was just going to see verse 2. Yeah, 25 and 42. Y'all, right after this, we just showing another example, and then y'all can look in the book of Judges. You'll see that Gideon had 70 sons. Now, I don't know. That show, if that's the case, that was way past the Octomom. We know ain't no 70 sons come out of one woman. Right. And he was a judge in Israel. So y'all, we understand these things. We just have to understand them in their full context. Right. There's certain things we can't do here in America that we can do at home. And a lot of things, if we understood it from the law, a lot of it, I can't handle that. That's just something inside of me, and I'm trying to twist and make it work. But you had to have them things in order. Everybody had to be taught the same. Yep. Everybody had to be taken care of the same. It ain't now look, she cool now. She cooked that hot water cornbread. That's the only reason I got her to eat a sandwich. How's you coming over with sweet potato? Well, I said, that's why you ain't got no sandwich now. You come home, you got 5 of them, 5 hours of sandwich. Everybody get a purse. Let's get it.
Verse 41 and 42.
Start at 39, that's good.
39?
Yeah, because this is very important too here, who this wife is right here.
This is where you got your name from, little girl Lizzie.
Let's get it.
And when David, 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 39, everybody there?
1 Samuel 25, 39.
Everybody there? And when David heard that Nabal was dead,
right,
he said, "Blessed be the Lord, that has pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and hath kept his servant from evil. For the Lord hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife.
Now, who Nabal and Abigail was, Nabal was a kind of rich guy. David was on the run from Saul, if y'all bag that up to read a little bit more of it. Abigail, his wife, was a virtuous woman. She saw David and his men, and David said, look, we hungry. We ain't ate in a couple days. What you got? And she said, well, my husband on this, this and that. She went home. She said, King David is here. King David already met men. He's like, what am I supposed to do? Jump up and down cause David out there? You act like you like that nigga. That nigga, I ain't got nothing. The niggas eat somewhere else. They ain't eating here. So he was wicked against the order to protect David because David was anointed by the Most High. That's why it's called a wicked servant. But what she did when you read the story, she went back and got some cakes and raisins beyond her husband's order. He said to hell with David, so she went around that for righteousness. So this lets us know when you read that 1 Corinthians 7, when it's talking about a woman have to take abuse for a man, he can never leave her to one of them be dead. That ain't what that's talking about. You cannot be in a position of abuse, or what if your husband decide, I've been looking at this Egyptology lately, and I think that's what we ought to do. No, you have to back away from that. The script don't tell nobody just to be a servant to sin. I don't care if you married or not. You got to cut that off. And try to get somebody right. She tried to talk to him. She said, look, Nabal, this King David, the Lord is on this. You got to get... What I care about that? Huh? Tell him I said he wants something to eat. Take his hungry down the road. And then, right. Well,
something to hit rallies.
Right. So we see that. But David didn't leave her out after Nabal was killed. He took her to wife because she would have been left with him. He took her to wife. He did his duty like, look, I may have caused a little chaos in there, but it was righteous. However this is supposed to go down, he took her to wife. Keep on reading, bro.
Where we at? Okay, yeah. Verse 39. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, blessed be the Lord that has pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and have kept his servant from evil. For the Lord hath returned his servant from evil. Okay, the Lord returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife. And when the servants of David were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee to take thee to him to wife. And she arose and bowed herself on her face to the earth and said, behold, let thine handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my Lord. And Abigail hasted and arose and rode upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers that went after her. And she went after the messengers of David and became his wife.
And let's read a little bit more of that.
David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were also both of them his wives.
Go ahead.
But Saul had given Michal, his daughter, David's wife, to Phalatin, the son of Laish, which was of Galim.
Because David had took the complete throne, yet the Lord had anointed David, but the crown was still on Saul's head. Saul took his daughter back that he gave David when he killed Goliath. He took her back because he hated David. But we see right here, David had already had 3 wives, and it was ordained of the Lord. So, but we don't see what got David in trouble. It wasn't 3 wives. It was David's heart that lusted after something that he shouldn't have.